Today you join me from the driver's seat of a Mark 1 Escort. I'd like to introduce Lee. Hello everyone.
Hello.
Would you like to shout out your Instagram while you're here at the start of the video?
Yeah, at Rockstar UK.
Because he has a Honda Ruck. Sick. But we'll get to that in another video. This is a Mark 1 Escort owned by yourself. I'm just going to put this up.
Oh yeah, I've got to show you how to initiate.
Yeah, how do we even do this? Yeah, so
key around.
Yeah,
and then
we've
already got the main cut off on. Then we've got to flick the old key fob. Then red lights on.
Red lights on.
Fuel pump.
Fuel pump on.
We'll wait.
It starts nicely, doesn't it? It is a very rainy English day, and
wipers don't work.
Wipers are sort of hit and miss, and this is my first time driving one of these. First time in it, first time doing anything with it, and we're close. Now it is time for me to have a little jolly drive. It is incredibly wet. We're on 13-inch wheels that aren't very grippy.
Very slippery.
And I'm going to be very careful because this is a very nice car. I don't want to hurt your car, mate. That's the main thing I'm worried about. So I'm just going to go through exactly how this thing drives, because this is my first time ever in this generation. What's it actually like to drive one of these? Well, brakes.
Not much.
I'd say they're there at some point.
I've got a bias pedal box in here, so you can adjust the braking bias obviously to the front or back. One of my master cylinders let go, so it popped. So I changed it for a new unit. But setting it up is quite difficult.
Yeah, I mean the brakes are there, don't get me wrong, it's not like it's dangerous or anything, it's just an old car braking system, so it feels very different. Very, very different. Mirrors,
that little one.
There is a tiny mirror like right there and I can just see out of it. But, as a whole, it's actually very easy to drive. The clutch isn't that hard, the accelerator is easy to push down on, it's very easy. And the position is like, the steering wheel's like that,
you're in there,
and the bucket seat's like back here, and it's actually quite a nice position to be in the car. So you're sat just low enough to feel comfortable and racy, but enough control that you're not worried.
Yeah,
I like that. I appreciate that sort of style of driving.
It took some time to get these seats in, because I had, as you mentioned before, I had Volkswagen GTE seats in it.
Yeah.
Which was how it came when I first got the car. Yeah. You were sitting like you were looking down here.
Yeah.
So it was horrible.
Whereas this is like a bit lower, and I think I appreciate it a little bit more. It feels
you got
more race car.
Yeah, you got a better, more race car.
More race car.
That's a win.
I sort of had a good drive of this you've been driving.
Yep.
The power, it's a good amount of power, really, considering what you're in.
Quite mild at the moment.
It breaks away easy though. That's the thing. It just breaks away so easy.
Quite ridiculous in how it will break away.
Yeah.
But in the drive, when you're on the track, it does stick
really well. Oh, I love the fact you can flip stuff. It's so cool. What you can't see is the rev needle. It goes like this. Such a classic car for you. I love that. It's the fact that you daily drive this, you know, when you want to.
Yeah.
This car, you take your kids to school in it.
Yeah.
It's incredibly usable. Like, you know, the clutch is. You could get away with sitting in traffic in it. Like, it's not a chore, is it, to drive this thing? And you expect that, especially when you jump from car to car. You expect this thing to be a chore to drive, but it's just easy.
When I had the old Pinto in here before, everything was so on-off. It's like the throttle was on-off. The clutch was a real heavy-duty clutch, so it was just, you couldn't drive it to the shops or anything like that. Whereas we've got the Cosworth engine in there now. You've got just a normal heavy-duty clutch. You've got a Sierra Type 9 5-speed box, and it just all meshes really nicely.
Yeah. It does feel like it came out of the factory like this. It doesn't feel like it's been blown apart, different engine, all that sort of stuff.
It almost feels like an RS model, like an RS 2000.
Yeah, like this was a model you could have bought. Yeah, that's how this car actually feels to drive. It's just enjoyable because you've taken the time to hit the areas that maybe a classic car lacks in, like, you know, the drivability underneath makes it nicer to drive as a driver. I don't know, it doesn't feel classic. It feels like it's a modern
It almost feels like
version
a
of
1980s
itself.
car,
Yeah, that's it.
almost like a Mark II.
Yeah, like you are jumping in this from the factory, lightly modified. Do you know what I mean? It feels that way because it is so well done. What I love about these Escorts though is everybody has a real nostalgia about them. It's, you know, we parked up in a car park and, you know, 3 different people came over and were talking about their time with a Mark 1 Escort, or, you know, how they used to own one, or, you know, just talking about what you've done to it and stuff. And
It's like a little time capsule.
yeah, that's the best thing about these cars is, yeah, it's great to drive and you've built one that is so easy and so usable. But when you do use it, you remember that these cars have had such a good history behind them, that everyone's enjoyed them at some point in their life. And the fact in 2019 you're still driving around in a January freezing cold, wet, it's like, that is so what these cars are about. They were supposed to be used, and I love the fact that this one is still used to this day. Its intended purpose was to be going to take the kids to school. It was going to the groceries, shop, and you know, all that sort of stuff. So
obviously with the boot being so big, you can stuff anything you want in there.
yeah, it's so usable that this one is still used all the time, and I love that. I love that idea.
As a family, all
Yeah.
the time.
That's
Kids
so
just jump in the back.
It's not just a picture on
Yeah.
Instagram, it's not just a video on YouTube, it's actually a used car that you enjoy, and it's part of the family. Do you know what I mean? This car is part of your family.
Yeah, like I said, going to shows and stuff. The missus just gets in it and
She drives it. Just drives it.
on her own. Nobody else in the car. She just quite happily drive it.
And I can see how it feels very organic what I'm doing. Like, it feels like I can feel the road through the steering wheel, and I can feel it through the pedals, and my bum is like so close to what's going on, and I love that. I like them. The seats I was going to compliment you on actually, because they look old school and they're comfortable. They look period correct, I think. I know a lot of people may not agree with that, but I think they actually work with the car.
That exhaust is gonna hit.
Right, what we've done is pick the worst lane to go down
It's literally
ever.
Oh, look behind you. Ready for the scrapes? Oh no, it didn't.
Oh, we're doing well. See, this is what it's all about. Mark 1 Escort, off-roading. We've gone down the wrong road, is what's happening. But, testament to how well your car is built.
It's not falling
It's not
apart.
falling apart. It's not falling apart. I haven't scraped it yet once, which is really, really good for me because it's worrying.
I'm not even worried anyway.
You're not even worried. I'm 100% worried. It's fine.
It smell like getting a bit warm.
I was going to say, I can smell the warmth coming from this car. You don't actually need a heater, do
No,
you?
actually,
It warms
where
itself up.
your feet are.
Yeah.
There you go. You sort of heard that
Oh
little,
yeah, I just heard a little
little scrape.
ting ting from the back there. Lovely little car. See, I've wanted to drive one of these for such a long time, but it's just finding necessarily the right one, because this is the usable daily car that again you've used a lot,
Yeah.
that we can go and enjoy. And I love that. I
Yeah,
love the idea of it.
But a lot of people are scared of the rain and stuff like
Yeah.
that. And I can't get it wet. It'll just fizz
Yeah, it'll fall apart in the rain, whereas what you've just experienced is us
in the
taking
rain.
it out on a January day in the rain and taking it green laning, driving it enthusiastically. I love that. Right, so guys, we've just pulled over. We're gonna have a quick look around the car with Lee as well. He's just in the mix. Let's go round your Ford Escort, because oh my god, mate, this is just nuts. This thing is nuts. So 1972 and originally a 1300 XL.
Yep.
Which stands for slightly luxurious than the others. Obviously not an original colour, but let's go through the car. What's it lowered on?
Front end, Philsteins and custom springs. The rear end has got SPAC, it's got 2-inch lowering blocks, so it gives it a little bit more of a squat at the back end. Obviously it's all poly bushed up everywhere.
You can feel that when you're in it because it's quite stiff, which is nice.
And the back end likes to go out.
Yeah. We've noticed in this sort of, whatever this is, like the wetness of the UK, the dampness of the UK, she likes to go sideways, this little thing. Sat on 13-inch mini lights as well.
Yeah, they're 2 gates mini light ones.
The proper versions, yeah. What is the colour?
If I told you it was a Peugeot colour, you wouldn't.
It's a Peugeot colour. No way, it's a Peugeot colour.
106.
Yeah. Oh, it is that colour. Oh my god, oh, I can see it now. That's crazy.
A bit of black in it.
I literally, oh, I can see that as a 106 now.
They call it Viennese green.
Oh, amazing.
Don't mention the Peugeot.
No, don't mention the Peugeot bit. I love that. You were saying the amount of stuff that you've wanted to do yourself on this, like respraying the alloys and
Yeah,
you know, just as much, yeah, just as much as you could yourself, because this is, you know, in reality quite a complex build. If you wanted to write down on a bit of paper and say, I want this, this, and this.
Anything wise, such as like brake servicing, putting all new bushes in on, and that I've done myself. The only thing I haven't done is painting it and the engine work, which my dad built.
Yeah.
But everything else is done in my garage or on a driveway.
Which is nuts, because the level of work is insane on this thing. It's so good. So we'll go through the car. Obviously 2-door. I just want to point out shuts like a golf, but it shuts like it should shut.
Yeah.
Like it shuts so nicely, like it hasn't been pulled apart.
This door actually fits a bit better than the other door.
Yeah, so I've picked the right door to open there. Yeah, like that. Coming around to the back, black bumpers.
Not a lover of all the bling.
Yeah, the chromed out, yeah, bumpers and stuff. Yeah.
Got little accents, such as like the Ford badge is still like that. Ties in with the number plate, white wheels, white cage. So I tried to colour code it as much as possible, and white piping on the seats, which you'll see in a bit.
Yeah. It just ties in with the inside and the outside of the car, which I really like. Let's go on to the inside, into the driver's seat. What have we got going on the inside? You've said you've got new carpet. Nice carpet.
It's a carpet kit. They're quite readily available. I've had to cut it a little bit because I've got like custom seat mounts that have been made because I've got kids.
Yeah.
I can actually swing these if I wanted to.
You were saying about the harnesses as well. Although they're in the car, you can latch them to the actual back, so they have got an anchoring point.
Yeah,
because
which is reinforced.
I love the fact that you take this on track.
Yeah.
You have just driven your kids to school in it.
Yeah.
Which is like, what? When was the last time you saw one of these on a school run? I've never seen it on a school run.
I take it to school, I drive it to work.
It's not a show queen. This is the thing. It is not garage sat for months on end. It is used properly. Like today, it is slightly raining at the moment. Love the fact that this is how this car has been built. You've got a USB charger in there to charge your phone. You've got a modern alarm system just in case. Do you know what I mean? Yeah, it's got central locking. This is like the car, if it came out today, what it would be like. Yeah. It's very, I mean, when we're in it, although it feels old, it doesn't feel that old. It doesn't feel like a tin can inside. But let's get into the engine bay. So if we pop the bonnet, this is the bit that people want to see, I suppose. They want to see what is going on underneath this bonnet.
1300.
It's a 1300, mate. It's a 1300. So what are we working with?
It's an early model Sierra Cosworth head.
Yep.
Which you can tell by the serial number stamp on
so
it.
if we go down there, if you guys, the Ford nerds out there will get right involved with that bit.
It's a 205 block, which obviously Cosworth then developed into the Cosworth engine. So it's got a Pinto crank, which has been lightened, balanced, polished, knife edged, all done by my dad. It's got 8-section rods, Woosler forged pistons. The head's been worked obviously because when you've got the turbo on it, the turbo forces the air through. Where you've now not got that, you've got to open up the ports a bit to allow the air.
So you were
to flow.
saying this is all custom made down here. You've actually sat there and.
So this manifold, again made by my dad, it's all hand fabricated to house the YZF-R1 motorbike carbs.
Which I love, the naturally aspirated feel still of this car is there because you haven't kept that turbo on there. And I understand some people will be like, oh, why do you keep the turbo on there? But I like the idea it's NA. And it's a bit louder and it's a bit more feeling. Yeah, the nostalgia part.
Yeah, the old school roar of the car.
Oh yeah, definitely.
B-road bashing.
Yeah, that's exactly it, mate. Exactly it.
Tony Law exhaust manifold, which then goes into a Peter Lloyd Rally exhaust system. This has been handmade, which isn't obviously the breather.
Yeah.
I haven't got one in the top of the rocker cover because I didn't want to drill and weld. There's too many pipes going around.
Yeah, too many pipes.
We've got a block breather anyway. We have got an outlet ready for it if we needed to.
Yeah.
But the engine actually is really healthy.
As is.
Yeah. It's on a light tune.
Light tune.
It's on a light tune because we've done the full engine rebuild.
Yeah.
So it is in the next few months. I'll take it to probably like Reed Performance down in New Milton.
Yeah.
And get them to do a full tune on it, see if we can get that revving right up the scale.
So just pop in the boot. I wanted to show you guys, well, we wanted to show you guys how nice it is in here. I mean, this is the original boot liner from the original car, and I love that how pristine it is.
It's like a factory extra.
It's a factory extra.
Part of the XL model.
XL model, there it is. Love that. And underneath, look underneath, look how mint this thing is. absolutely beautiful underneath.
Standard fuel tank, which is then fed into a facet fuel pump, which then goes into the front, which is a fuel pressure regulator that's up there, and a filter. It's all in one.
So back at the starting location, I'd like to say a massive thank you to Lee in the background. What's your Instagram?
At Rockstar UK.
But there's a bit more of this car on there, you know, the build and stuff. And
yeah, little things I've been tinkering with.
But thank you so much for watching. Thank you to you for letting me play with your car and all. Although, you know, it's a rainy day and we, you know, I don't want to go sideways and everything in it. I just appreciate driving this on a cold January day in the rain. That's exactly what these cars are about. Anyway, guys, thank you so much for watching from us. See you later on. See you later.